Snow, but not like last weekend. We're tracking what this hit of wintry weather means for your morning commute.
We're very excited. The sooner the better. We're ready.
Colorado taking strides in the fight to end the coronavirus pandemic.
My hope, obviously, is that we continue on this trend.
Who's eligible for rapid at-home testing and what you need to know about new mass vaccination sites.
When they got that punch to the gut, they felt really misunderstood.
Meatout Day meets resistance. A proclamation by Governor Jared Polis draws criticism from near and far.
I think it's kind of a knee-jerk reaction.
Tonight, we're taking a look at why this issue has so many people fired up.
It's amazing what social media can do.
So you thought the snow was done with us after last weekend's epic performance. Unfortunately, we are dealing with a little bit more.
We are officially in winter until Saturday, and well, it seems Mother Nature has a parting shot for us.
Good evening and welcome to Denver7 News at 10. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight. To be clear, this one's not a major snowmaker, and school's not on spring break. Do plan to get back to classes tomorrow.
So let's get right to Denver7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. And Mike, this is a much bigger deal in the southern part of our state right now.
Indeed it is. This would look like this afternoon at City Park. You can see the visibility closed down as the snow came in, but this is the current shot there, and it's just a little bit of flurry activity that shows up on radar. This will not amount to much here. It's been a bit more serious out to the west along I-70, but the main story is going to be over southeastern Colorado. Blizzard warning, eastern Las Alamos and Baca County, and then across much of the Sangre de Cristos and the Wet Mountains. A winter storm warning is in effect. That storm is going to drop up to a foot of snow over southeast Colorado. Around here, some flurries and temperatures tonight dropping down into the 20s mean we'll get some slick roads, but the far bigger storm is to the south. Tomorrow's a windy, cold day, but then there is lots of melting coming up in the 7-day.
Tonight, a man is in custody after a shooting spree at 3 Atlanta area massage parlors. 8 people were killed. And police arrested 21-year-old Robert Long, and they believe he's responsible for all 3 shootings. They aren't yet calling this a hate crime, but there is speculation because investigators say at least 6 of the victims appear to be Asian women. On Thursday, there was a Colorado town hall addressing anti-Asian hate and seeking solutions. That online event starts at 6 p.m. and you can sign up by searching for the event on Facebook.
As Colorado works to rebound, our focus in the fight against the coronavirus is shifting.
Colorado is getting ready to roll out more mass vaccination clinics, and the state's largest testing site will close next week, shifting the focus to at-home testing instead.
As Denver7 CV Cotton reports tonight, there's a growing sense of optimism that we're turning a corner in this pandemic.
Over the past year, restaurant kitchens have prepared fewer plates than ever before. The bindery here in the Highlands neighborhood is no exception.
With 6 feet distancing between tables, we can get about 52 people.
And that's not even half the number the restaurant could normally hold pre-COVID.
We need to be able to put more tables back into the restaurant.
But with current public health orders that call for social distancing, it's not possible. But every day, the bindery's owner and chef, Linda Hampston Fox, grows more optimistic.
My hope, obviously, is that we continue on this trend.
A trend that starts with Tuesday's announcement that CDPHE will be expanding the availability of its rapid at-home testing kits to include restaurant workers.
I do have various employees calling out that they have a headache and they are afraid that they don't want to come to work if it's something more. So I think this will be very helpful.
And more help, Governor Jared Polis says, is on the way.
We are also rapidly in the process of launching the state pods, Colorado Springs, metro area, the ranch up north, Grand Junction, Pueblo. These are going to be the larger scale vaccination sites.
Polis says the sites should eventually be able to vaccinate 6,000 people a day. Meanwhile, one of the state's largest testing sites at Waterworld will be closing next week, which could mean a near future where Colorado is more open.
By this summer, I'm excited that things will be relatively back to normal, and that's a good thing.
If Governor Polis's projection does happen, Hampston Fox from the bindery says she hopes that'll mean they can get more tables inside the restaurant. She says that'll be key to restaurants truly bouncing back. Ann and Shannon.
CB, thank you. And vaccination supplies are ramping up. Right now, 80% of those 65 and older have received at least one dose of a vaccine, and about 22% of the state's population is officially immune. Colorado expects to start receiving 400,000 vaccines per week by the end of April. And even though more and more people are being vaccinated, the state cautions COVID numbers are holding steady and they want to see those numbers falling. State leaders are encouraging everyone to keep up with mask wearing and social distancing.
Casa Bonita says it's ready to dive back into business soon. The Mexican restaurant is probably best known, of course, for its elaborate interior and live entertainment, including the Cliff Divers. It's been shut down since last spring and no word yet on an exact opening date.
And one major casualty of the last year is getting a new look with new owners. Iconic Denver jazz club El Chapultepec, it's gone. And in its place will be a new venue called Cantina. The historic bar and restaurant hosted legendary performers like Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra in its 87-year run. It closed in December after struggling with COVID restrictions. Our partners at the Denver Post report the new owners plan to release more details in April or May.
Today, Vice President Kamala Harris stopped by Denver to highlight the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package and how it can help Colorado rebound. The White House says this tour is meant to reach out to people in their home states and talk about just what the stimulus package would mean for them. The Vice President and Second Gentleman visited Maria Empanada on South Broadway and spoke with small business owners.
She came with the purpose of letting us know about this new relief package and the portion that is completely for restaurants, and that's absolutely part of the message that I gave is the necessity, the immediate necessity that we need. I mean, we don't know if we can make it for next month.
Good Morning America's George Stephanopoulos sat down with President Biden for a one-on-one interview on the relief package and on the issues that may steal the spotlight from it. You can catch that right here on Denver7 tomorrow morning.
The Office of the State Auditor is raising red flags about the state's unemployment insurance fund. The system's been dogged by fraudulent claims throughout this pandemic, and many people making legitimate benefit claims face long delays. Well, the audit found a significant backlog of unprocessed unemployment insurance claims. It also found the state did not have a good way of figuring out how much had been overpaid and which legitimate claims still needed to be paid out. Auditors said given that information, they could not accurately gauge the state of the unemployment insurance fund.
With St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, Boulder wants to avoid a repeat of that destructive riot just about a week ago on the CU campus or near the campus. At a city council meeting tonight, leaders said they will be allocating more resources to monitor that area tomorrow. They're also going to work with CU to enforce consequences for the students who break the law.
Governor Jared Polis declared Saturday Meatout Day, and the day encourages people to consider choosing alternatives to meat.
And that is not where the story ends. The move has drawn a firestorm of criticism both here in Colorado and our neighboring states.
As Denver7 Sloan Dickey reports, amid the uproar, some are finding a silver lining.
They got that punch to the gut.
Outrage among cattle ranchers who say their industry has been targeted.
I think there was a level of frustration and a level of feeling not understood by our producers.
In February, Governor Polis signed a proclamation declaring March 20th as Meatout Day, calling for Coloradans to abstain from consuming meat. But for many Coloradans, it's ignited a beefy debate.
Agriculture is the #2 industry in Colorado, with livestock making up 60% of that, and the livestock industry specifically contributing over $4 billion to the state's economy.
Aaron Carney with the Colorado Cattlemen's Association says the meat industry has a deep history in Colorado and a bright future, too.
Over 26 counties have signed proclamations declaring it Meat In Day or some variation of that, and we've have over 100 events happening throughout the state.
Now Colorado counties are fighting back. Even governors in neighboring states have signed proclamations of their own. In Wyoming, March 20th is now Hearty Meat Day, and just this week, Nebraska named it Meat on the Menu Day.
I've focused since day one on expanding markets for Colorado beef products.
But Colorado's governor hasn't necessarily doubled down on his proclamation.
And of course, personally, this was one of my quarantine hobbies, was learning to really develop techniques around cooking some of the underappreciated cuts.
Telling reporters in a press conference that he meant no harm by the proclamation.
We do hundreds of these proclamations. People feel we do Colorado Ag Week, and we'd love to have a Colorado Beef Appreciation Day.
The debate hasn't been all bad for Colorado ranchers. They say it's drawn lots of attention to their industry online.
Our social media kind of blew up on this.
It's not only about the animals, there's also implications for greenhouse gases. There's other kinds of things that kind of are involved with that agriculture.
Even so, Roland Halpern of Colorado Voters for Animals says he doesn't see the proclamation as an attack.
Maybe for one day a week or one day a month, or in this case, it's a proclamation for one day in a year to simply consider the alternatives to meat.
And maybe we can all eat in peace on March 20th.
You're going to meet out on the 20th? Great. And if not, that's good too.
Sloan Dickey, Denver7.
St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, but no parade in Denver this year.
We know those businesses are really affected.
How organizers are pivoting to give struggling businesses a boost, and why this annual celebration of all things Irish is such a big deal in our state.
Plus, a story they'll be dining out on for years.
Everyone was just ecstatic. It was just a giddy feeling around here.
How friends are getting together to spread kindness.
Tough night over southern Colorado with all the warnings there. I'll let you know how much snow we can expect and when temperatures return to 60.